Yes, it helps to turn on the microphone. It tends to work a little better when it's on. I've noticed that. Had an incident this weekend where I filmed an entire video without sound. And Ecamm doesn't give you a heads up. So it's incumbent upon me to know when my microphone is on. So hello and welcome to our little corner of the internet where we speak about fountain pens, inks, journals and journaling, and just about anything and everything that's going to keep you inspired. Who are you? You are the sharpest minds and the kindest hearts on the internet. I really feel like the community around this channel is the kindest, most generous, giving, knowledgeable, intelligent, insightful, expressive, and creative people I know. So welcome and thank you for being here, for making this corner shine. I really feel like we do really interesting things here, and I'm so happy that you're a part of it. It's nice to see you. Every Tuesday night, we do the live show. I talk about what's going on with my fountain pen, my journal, my inks, my journey into self-expression. Basically, I'm chasing a line across a journal page in some shade of ink I've chosen from really a limitless palette. Inks nowadays, any color you really want to express is out there. It wasn't always so. 30 years ago, you had some basic colors, and that was about it. Now, pretty much any dream of yours, any technicolor fantasy of yours that you want to emulate in your ink to show your own individuality and your own expression, you can do it. You can chase that line through anything you write all day, the office, notes, whatever it is that you do that keeps you going. So it's a pretty wonderful thing. Hi. So I'm in a pretty good mood tonight. I had a rough weekend and I am definitely feeling optimistic. And I have an interesting show for you tonight. You may have seen the title. And the idea is to sort of talk about how, for me, the way to reconnect is through my pens. That if I find myself too far astray in the world or too disconnected, and that's certainly easy to do, especially with all the distractions, right? I mean, there's so many horrible things going on in the world, in the country, just everywhere. If you focus on that, you could get really bogged down, depressed, that sort of thing. But really, the only thing you can control is your own life, your family, and your choices for those that you love. And I truly believe that writing, making connections with people, making a deeper connection with yourself makes those choices easier to make, better to make. You make better choices. You sort of appreciate the consequences of your choices a bit more. I don't know anyone who writes that isn't somewhat introspective and reflective and hasn't learned sort of to be a better person from it. Some people, I think historically, and now I'm going a bit far afield, but you think some of the great personalities have written and their big lament is that they can't get themselves to the next stage, right? But I think we can do a little better. So, wonderful to see everyone. Hold on, I see something here. I can't resist books. I do a lot of books on this channel, sort of like a sideline. I get a lot of editions that are published before they are released, and I get an opportunity to read them. And I see someone here. Oh, it's named like nobody else. Hi. Sorry. An Education in Malice. I guess you're in the middle of a conversation. One of the great things about this channel is that folks have their own chats, but An Education in Malice is a book that I spoke about on my shorts. That is the filthiest book I have ever read. There are 2 scenes in that book that are, I mean, I have pretty tough sensibilities. I'm trying to think of a way to to relate this to you in a sophisticated manner, and I think I'm at a loss for words. I don't believe I can do it. Yeah, that book is smutty, but it's fun, and I do like fun books, and that is certainly a fun book. And I have some other books I'm going to do book reviews on, both ones that are sent to me and ones that I've read over time. Even though most people don't like them, most of you guys ignore it, and that's okay. It's meant for people who are really into books. So super fun. Super fun. Yeah, Tom Morley. This is fun. What do we need HJ for? I guess you need me to host the show, right? And then you guys can talk. But I love it. You guys have a great time. We have a lot of the members that speak on the chat each week. A lot of the regular viewers. I'm always delighted to see each of you. Okay, so there's a few things I want to talk about, and then I'm going to get right into the main topic, because that's kind of how I'm feeling this evening. I have my notes, so I'm not going to be mysterious about that. I still have some names I haven't picked for the Tuesday night group, like Enchanted Pen Society, We Happy Few, I like that, Ink and Pen Club. Still thinking about it. We'll see. I'm not going to do the daily pen segment. I might show some pens. I just got a whole bunch of new pens. By the way, guys, thanks for the likes. I see them flying up. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I got a whole bunch of new pens. I am sort of expanding the channel in interesting ways with some new interesting pens. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. I'm sort of doing a series of challenges where I go into a certain zone, let's say at this point, and I choose certain pens and then I talk about them. And some discoveries were made, so I think you're going to enjoy it. I like to hype my own content. You'll see that in a few weeks. I'll let you know. And some news items. Let me see. Show you something here. If I can find it. Of course I can. Okay. So, back at the Commonwealth Pen Show and the video I did on it, I introduced you to the cannolis from Inky. And that's Inkii. Inky. And these are micro suede? Yeah, something like that. Like chamois. Let's go with chamois. And these are designed to clean the nib of your pen in a very charming way by folding them into these charming cannolis. I bought two, this brown one and a pink one for my darling daughter. Fantastic. Why am I telling you? Because Natasha, who you met in my video, was kind enough to give out a discount code to all of you. And by the way, what do I get out of it? Nothing. I get nothing. What do you get out of it? I think it's 10% off. So if you want to buy one of these for yourself, I believe you get 10% off with this discount code, which I put in the description of this video, but let me just tell you what it is. It's Hemingway Jones. Hemingway Jones, 1M, Hemingway Jones. In capitals. She put it in capitals, so I'm guessing you have to put it in capitals. I don't know. And you can get a discount if you like these for yourself. And am I plugging Natasha? I am. You know why? These are really cool, and I'm glad I bought one. And she is really nice, and I'll always support nice people that I like. I just will. That's how I am. I'm very loyal. So very cool, and I believe you can wash these if they get dirty. So that's all good. I'm not sure how though. Oh, it has a screw. There's a screw here. So I'm going to assume you can unscrew it. Pretty cool. So I really like this. I think you will too. So Natasha, Inky, Inkii. I am plugging her because I think she's very nice and I want to see her succeed. I love small business. So I want to show you something else too. I'll show you down here on the camera. You know what? Maybe I should give you a better look at this too. I don't want to belabor it too much, but this is it. The little Inky cannoli. Get these nice chamois for wiping your nib. Who doesn't love it? There's the symbol, and this is what holds them on. And I mentioned that there's a screw. So you could use probably a Swiss Army knife if you have one, or just a regular flathead screwdriver. But very cool. Hemingway Jones, one word, capitalized. If you want to get a discount on these, go to Inky. Okay. Speaking of nice people, two nice people I can speak of. One is Pastor Brad, who makes these lovely journals. And I showed these last week. He put these, they're like journal covers. And it's at woodsyleather.com. Pastor Brad. So you might have noticed that there's this charm on here. That's because this no longer belongs to me. The second nice person is my lovely wife, who has taken possession of this. And I'm delighted that she's going to use it. I'm really into journal covers lately. I love hardcover journals. I'll never stop. I'll always use hardcover journals, but I do like the softcover journal thing too. I really like Paper Republic too. I mean, Pastor Brad is the move, but I like the YouTube channel for Paper Republic because they go into their journals. They'll have someone in a cafe and they have a Paper Republic journal and they'll say, "Hey, Julia, show us your journal." And then she opens it up and these people are so brave. I've never done that. I actually am making a fake journal just for filming, where I just put random entries. But they'll show their actual journal with their sketches and all sorts of things and their schedules. And I'm impressed. And I love the channel because of that. Because you get to see inside their journals. Very, very cool. So Paper Republic is really cool if you like a different sort of YouTube channel. They don't know me at all. This is not a plug for them per se. I just enjoy it. It's something I watch. Okay. I wanted to show you something else today too, quickly. This is a book by J.J. Abrams, who you guys know, and Doug Dorst. And it's called The Ship of Theseus. We have discussed The Ship of Theseus on the channel at length. The Ship of Theseus, of course, is the idea. It's a philosophical sort of thought experiment. If you take a ship like this and you want it to be original, right? And then over, say, 10 years, you've replaced all the wood with new wood. And then if you were then to gather up all the old wood and put it back together, which would be the ship of Theseus? The one that's been replaced or the one that is made up of the original parts? So kind of a thought experiment. And this book came out. Why does this concern us here on a fountain pen channel? Because it's charming, and I haven't seen anything like this in a long time. It looks like a library book. It looks old. It's not. And there's all sorts of annotations in here. And by the way, I haven't even attempted to read this, but I hope to one day. There's cursive writing, which you guys know I love. This is the sort of thing I love about books. When you discover a book that has annotations. In fact, I have a version of Milton that has real annotations from about 100 years ago. But there's all sorts of letters in here. There's newspaper articles. And I imagine they all relate somehow. There's this is from a university, somebody's list. Now you find stuff like this in real books, and it's super fun to see this all in here. So there's supposed to be all sorts of levels of meaning here, where you can take things at different levels, and it all. Oh, is that oh yeah, I have a lot of these. Like your relatives die. I was raised Catholic, so I think this is like a prayer card. And anytime one of your relatives die, you get sort of a prayer card of the funeral and stuff. Ooh, this is a napkin from Pronghorn, Java, with a map. So it's all supposed to relate. Really interesting things in here. Different levels of meaning. So A really interesting book. Here's a postcard. The Pen Pal group, I send a lot of postcards. I actually love postcards. Postcards are a way for me to keep in touch quickly. So, yeah, I really love postcards. I lean on them quite a bit. So if you're in Illuminati or Cognoscenti member of the channel, you can join our Pen Pal group. And you'll get a welcome letter from me and probably a postcard too. Lots of postcards. Oh, that's just a photo. So anyway, here's a postcard. Ooh, look, different color inks. This person looks like they used, this looks like Diamine Autumn Oak. Do you see that? That really looks like Diamine Autumn Oak. Am I wrong? Anyone? Everyone? Pretty neat, right? Fountain pen people must have made this. So that's really fun. Yeah, that's definitely Diamine. There's no other color. That is Diamine Autumn Oak in this book. How great is that? And there's probably other ones too. I don't know. I don't recognize this color off the top of my head. But it wouldn't surprise me if there wasn't some Konpeki in here somewhere. I can feel it. This looks like ballpoint. So anyway, a really interesting book. Wow, look at this thing. I don't even know what that is. Very neat. Very interesting discovery. I'm assuming this is still available. I was going to keep it pristine, and then I decided to open it. For, I don't know, a year? I just had it on the bookshelf. Here, let me go back to me so you don't have to stare at my ugly hand. Sorry about that. You always have to be cognizant as to what is in frame. So, I really like this book. It's really interesting. So, I thought I'd introduce it to you. Here's another thing that's really fun. I got this from my wife. And this is one of those things I wish I had more time in my life for. Gentleman Farmer Candles Wood Paneled Library. Cedar wood. What's that? Bergamot? I don't even know what that is. And another word that I can't see. I really need to update my glasses. I've been having trouble reading. But it's supposed to smell like a library, which I really like. And I'm kind of dying to, I'm trying to, it is nice. It smells kind of woodsy. But I don't get a lot of chance, and it's part of the inspiration for tonight's show is how little I get to enjoy my things and really connect to all the things I love that are around me. I only work from home on really Fridays, maybe Monday afternoon, so I don't get to spend a lot of time with Yorick, my buddy. And I record videos for the channel here, and I also do some stuff, like I'll write my correspondences. My inkwell, I love this thing. I know I've shown this a million times, but if anyone's joined us recently, I do have to keep it dust free, but it doesn't have any ink on it right now, but you can see that I had I had Eclat de Saphir in there. This is so beautiful. I wish I could buy 10 of these. I just love it so much. It's so charming. Vintage inkwells are fun, but they have to be right. The right size, the right dimensions. So, yeah, I just don't get much of a chance to really connect. And that's kind of part of what I want to really speak about, because I think so much of this hobby, to me, is remaining in touch with the world that's gone. The world that I was barely a part of, being born in 1967. But that sort of mid-century, mid-20th century world of analog devices, typewriters and written notes and pens and inkwells in school desks and, newspapers, physical newspapers, things like that. I'm holding on to that thread. So we're going to talk more about that in a few minutes. I do want to mention, because I feel I would be remiss if I didn't mention that if you watch every week, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe. That's really all I ask. I'd love it if you subscribed. I'd love to have you on this journey with us. We go to a lot of interesting places. And thanks for the likes, guys. I see those flying by. That's good to feed the YouTube algorithm. And I do want to mention this week's video, which I am super proud of, and I think you'll enjoy. I think you'll like it. It's called The Top 5 Fountain Pens for Productivity. So pretty much the exact opposite of what I'm talking about tonight. But that shows you sort of the range of this channel. That there are times you have to be productive. And for me, there are days. I mean, today at work, I was just knocking things out. I got there early. I was focused. I had a list of the things that were giving me anxiety. And it was something I'm talking about on Thursday, is that part of the reason why you need to knock things out is so you feel better. It's not just to like support your family, get things done, but to give yourself freedom to think so that those things that are hanging over you are done. And that's what I did today. I went in with a vengeance, and I was like Chuck Norris of the banking world. I was just knocking things out left and right. So which fountain pen do you bring with you on those days? And that might sound silly, but it's not. There's a lot to be said. Here's one. This is a Pilot Kakuno, right? This would be great for that. If it's newly inked, this would be a fantastic productivity pen because it's quick on the draw. You can get into it. You can jot notes. It's light. It's not going to weigh you down. It's reliable. You don't have to think about it. There's a lot of reasons I should have included this. Maybe next time I will. Maybe I'll do a part 2. But these are the things that you have to think about when you're coming up with the kind of pen that's going to keep you productive and flowing and getting things done. So this would have been a good choice. This is a great pen. Oh, I need to recognize someone. The lovely Laura Notek. Thank you. $10. Laura, thank you so much. Gen X grew up analog and became digitally capable as young adults. Sincerely. Laura, we had it the best, didn't we? Gen Xers. We were lucky. We truly did. And thank you for your generous super chat. It helps to keep the lights on. And tonight, the lights are burning brightly. So thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So let me, I do usually show you a little bit about a pen. And since I grabbed this Kakuno, let me show you a little. Let's see if it's as reliable as I think. One of the things I love about these, by the way, not just the anthropomorphic nib, but I don't really post pens anymore, but you have no reason not to post this. Nothing's going to happen. It'll be fine. This, oh, so pretty. Wow, this is so fun. This is great. It's so flowy. And this is a medium. It looks like a fine because it's a Japanese medium. But it's brilliant, guys. The ink is boring, but that's okay. What are you going to do? You can't have it all. And once it runs out and I use a syringe, it'll be much better. Yeah, it's not bad. It's really not bad. This is a great pen for having on hand. Good scribing noise. I don't know if it's picking up. Okay. You even get a little bit of line variation if you trowel it. If you sort of keep it at an angle to the line. Yeah. No clip though. No clip. Beautiful font. Their choice of type, well, it's not really typeface. This would be font. Is very tasteful and so perfect for this. It's sort of kawaii and very whimsical. Lovely job. I should have mentioned that when I talk about in a video. Maybe I'll do a whole video on these. I don't know. I really like this pen. Okay. Big fan of the Kakuno. Do I have anything else handy? I have this handy, but it doesn't have any ink. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Gen Xers, where are you? Gen Xers Unite. This is probably the pen of Gen Xers, right? For many of us, this was our first fountain pen. I don't think I have any ink in here. I should ink this baby up, but what do you get with this? This, of course, is a Pilot Phileas, named after Phileas Fogg. This looks rich. This looks like it costs at least $100, $200. No real gold was used in the making of this pen. Look at the vintage style feed. How cool is that? Two-tone Art Deco nib. It's not really going to come out on the cam so well, but just trust me, it's Art Deco. I wish I could blow it up more for you. Sort of complimentary Art Deco embellishment down here at the bottom. This is a cartridge converter pen, of course. Empty. I should fill it. What a beauty this is. I believe, and please, someone in the comments, feel free to correct me. Feel free to correct me. I believe these were $28 back in the day. That's what sticks in my mind. The funny part is, actually a decent investment because they sell for about $70 now. About $70. You see them around. I personally wouldn't pay any more than $40. But they're fantastic. You see these in, I want to say, yeah, like vintage shops sometimes. People think they're older than they are. Do you notice that the cap has a bit of skyliner about it? I mean, not quite, but a bit. Very Art Deco. It's embedded, the cap. But it feels a little bit like a skyline, but it's obviously not. But this is such a superb pen. It is so choice. Track one down for yourself and realize why Gen Xers loved the Phileas. Okay, so I am going to the Empire Pen Show this weekend. That's in New York City, and I will be there Saturday. So if you'd like to meet, and believe me when I tell you I want to meet you, it's a bigger pleasure for me. I'm kind of boring. You guys have the great stories. So it will be a pleasure to meet you at the Empire Pen Show, Empire State Pen Show. And I have no idea what to expect. I don't think there has been one, at least in a while, if ever. I really don't know. It's certainly the first one in this iteration. So it should be super fun. I'm hoping a lot of my friends are going to be there. I believe they will be. So it should be a blast, and I hope to see a bunch of you. I am also going to be at MoMA and a few restaurants. So you might see me around. It will be super fun. Alexandra will be there from Art and Sanity. Chris from Truffet. Of course, Tom Otto, who's my buddy. I'm looking forward to meeting him in person. He's a great guy. I believe Brian Holzer from Estabrook will be there. I don't know if Mark Dwight from Rickshaw is going to be there, but I certainly hope so. He's such a cool guy. Really had a great time with him at the Atlas Stationers Pen Show. Natasha from Inky will be there. So if you want a cannoli, you can get one on the spot. And I don't know who else, but I'm hoping to see lots of peoples. Lots of peoples. Kurt Geisinger will be there. Always a pleasure to see Kurt. Kurt and I were in D.C. together last year. He's a great guy. Very, very great guy. Okay. Lots of good stuff. All right. So, one of the things that I was speaking about earlier is just how stressful things can be. And there's even a certain sort of stress of being disconnected from your stuff. And I mean, I think every parent struggles. The dynamic of not having a lot of time for yourself, but then wanting to have more time with your children. My Imogen is an absolute delight, and I enjoy every moment I can spend with her. And I am very fortunate now that she is at the age where she goes to bed fairly early. So I do get a few hours at night to spend with my wife, which is really lovely. But then the time that Imogen and I spend together, she's just becoming the most interesting, empathetic, sweet person that I could imagine. I'm so proud of her, and I just give all the credit to my wife, who is wonderful, as you guys know. And they're very supportive of me doing the channel. So they give up a few hours on Saturday mornings or Friday night or Sunday or whenever it is that I film. They give that time up, and they also have to be a little quiet for me. So Saturday, for instance, they went upstairs while I tried to film, and I totally failed because my mic wasn't on, and I was very sad. But I was able to redo it, and I was very happy with how it came out. And I think it's a fantastic video, so I'm very proud of it. But what I'm longing for is that connection. And I feel like fountain pens give you that instantly. There's a certain, I would say, instant connection with that thread in your life. As soon as the nib touches the paper, as soon as you start to write, you are aware of the tool you're using. You're thinking of other times, other places. It gives you that certain joy that only analog devices can give you, and very few digital devices. I won't say none, because in my life there have been a few that are absolutely brilliant. One is my old clamshell, if you remember, Mac. I forget what it was called, MacBook or Apple Book, MacBook, I think, at the time. And it was a graphite, and it looked like a big clamshell. It was a little ridiculous, but the thing had this beautiful warmth to it that no other machine has ever had, except for this. My iPad, this is my iPad that I use for everything. And this particular keyboard is really nice. It has a nice ergonomics. It's not very pretty, but it has a nice feel to it. And then the last digital device that gives me that kind of feeling is my Canon 5D digital camera, which was the first full frame digital camera from Canon that takes the most interesting looking pictures, because it was trying to make them look like film and not to look like perfect images. It has this beautiful quality. And my Leica X2 as well. So those do. But most of the time, you kind of need a book. You want to touch a book, and that's why I have my reference Shakespeare here, which I go to quite a bit. A lot of my emotions I frame in Shakespeare. And my journals, these are all my journals from throughout the years. And then I have a bunch of blank ones down here. Some pretty epic ones from Bottega Obscura. These are gorgeous. He does beautiful work. But you get into these journals, even the smell of them, the way the leather feels, these beautiful raised bindings. There's something so tactile and real, and as soon as you manifest a word in these, it takes on so much more significance than just a blinking cursor on a screen. These are sort of incorruptible. They feel eternal. They might not be. They might fade one day. They'll probably get lost and no one will ever know who I was, but in that moment they're eternal. And there's just something so amazing. By the way, do you see how this captures the light? It's so beautiful. I'm so easily beguiled by beautiful things. But, I just love tangible objects. And I love that touch. I love paper. I love the texture of paper. I love the way a fountain pen's nib hums and vibrates against paper. If you could zoom in, super close and follow it, it's probably undulating and vibrating like a tuning fork as you tie your ink into cursive letters, into beautiful words, and that color that you've chosen. I guess at that magnification, shimmer looks like plates of polished gold, maybe like a broken mirror in this sea of ink. I just think that's so amazing. And I'm often following the line while I think through my words. And I love when you can see the ink pooling in these beautiful puddles, especially on the curves around where there is probably a minuscule change in pressure and more ink is released on the page. And it's just so beautiful compared to a printed word, or in some case, sometimes ballpoints aren't the best either. I do want to take a moment to recognize Rick Harsh with a $5 super chat from Canada. Thank you, my friend. Bought myself a Diplomat Viper. Very cool. Brown. Fantastic. Loaded it with brown ink from Diamine. Nice writing pen. Well done. Rick Harsh. That's a cool name. Rick Harsh could be like a superhero name. Very cool. Thank you for that generous super chat. I appreciate it. So, in wanting to slow down more and kind of connect more and just romanticize these kind of moments, and I know that can sound a little twee when you say, oh, let's romanticize a moment. But I think it's important to get into a mindset, even for productivity, not to mention creativity. I find that I create better when I'm in an environment that fosters creativity. And this is pretty good. I guess if I could do it again, actually I can do it again. And one day I probably will do it again. One day I'll probably hire a carpenter to make shelves in here. But for now, this is good. This is what I want. I have all my books just within reach, and the important ones within sight. My fountain pen, journaling, letters, books are right in front of me. My journals are behind me. My biography and some of my reference is right here and over here where I can reach it while I'm at my desk. That's all part of romanticizing a moment. This desk, this crazy desk full of nooks and crannies and hidden places, things I'd never use. This slides out. I don't know why. What can I do with it? I don't know. I'm not sure I can do anything with it. Is it cool? Yes, it's cool. Does it motivate me? Does it make me happy? Absolutely. Candles are nice. Lighting candles around you when you're working, especially if it's a stressful day. It's a distraction. It tells your mind that you're safe, you're in a beautiful place, and you're doing important things, but you have some control over your environment, if not everything in your life at that moment. And I feel like choosing the right music is important for these moments. And I obsess over the music I choose for those moments, and I've shared them. They're on Spotify if you care to check it out. I have a classical music playlist. I have some dark academia studying playlists. And there's links in the description to the video. Those are just for you. There's no monetary thing for me in that. I just put them up so you could enjoy them. And I do occasionally get a moment late at night where I come over here and I'll turn on one of my dark academia journaling at midnight playlists, and I'll do just that. I'll journal, or I'll write some correspondence, or I'll, work on a video script, which I'm always working on, just to stay motivated. But I often feel like there's this dynamism a bit between the stress of life, the stress of sort of the digital world, the short attention span videos that are always coming at us in quick succession. Nowadays, there are these AI videos that are terrifyingly real, and they're fortunately some of them are really funny. They're doing things like having Mr. Rogers say things he would never say, or have Bob Ross painting album covers for heavy metal albums from the 80s. Things like that are sort of funny. They even have one with JFK, who's one of my heroes, John F. Kennedy. And they have him speaking as if he's alive now. And it makes me a little sad, I'll be honest, because you think of a life like his cut off so short. And believe me, I know the man was complicated. But sometimes you don't get a chance to be the person that you could be. Even people who are, not fully formed. They never had a chance to get fully formed. And that's sad to me. So I think when you're always on, you get this constant stimulation, and you have a moment to sit down, light a candle, turn on a nice light like the one over my desk here. Yes, from Venice, right? I don't get to show this much. I have to be very careful with it. And then read a little. I am reading one now. I'm trying to remember what it's called. I can't remember, but not much happens in the book. It's sort of two girls, and they're at a school, and one of them had done a thesis on witches, and then she swore all that off, and then the other girl is working on some kind of true crime thing, and I'm sure they're going to come together somehow, but not a lot has happened. And yet that's really nice sometimes for me, because you need a break, and it's kind of nice just reading about girls studying. I don't know. Is that strange? I mean, I wish I had more time to study. I try, but it's hard. I'll let you know the title of that book as soon as I remember. I wish my wife were watching. She could put it in the chat for me, because she just gave it to me, but I really like it. And there's going to be a lot of new book reviews coming. But I don't know. I think I'm coming out of an anxiety-ridden period where I had this sense that something wicked this way cometh, and I didn't know from which direction, and I was constantly on guard, as if there were some sort of dark phantom in the room about to snatch me away, and I just need to be on guard. And I feel like I've cleared that, but as often happens with me, that's when I get the anxiety attacks often, is after the threat has passed. And I find myself reconnecting with things that I hold very dear. Either media that I've loved and cherished, like Gatsby, which I've read multiple times in my life, or A Movable Feast I've read. I used to read it almost every autumn. I've read it so many times. It's a lot of autumns. The Alienist is a book I've read several times. I just did a short on that. It's really exciting and interesting. I just feel myself wanting to anchor myself onto actual words. And I also find my taste in pens getting more, I'd say, personally conservative in those moments, more less exuberant and over the top, and more like mac and cheese pens, my comfort pens, Lamy Safaris, my Mont Blanc 149, my Bohème, which is, it might seem a little out there, but I really love that pen. It just makes me happy when I use it. I'm looking for small happinesses when I write. So I think being a little more meditative, a little bit more present, and not so much lost in the past. I don't really have any desire to go back. I'm very thankful that, for one thing, I'm holding up as well as I am. I'm as healthy as I am for my family, and that my life is going well because I've made good choices. And I've said this before, and I'll always share this with you. You are the summation of your choices. If you want to change your life, change your choices. Make the best choices you can for yourself and your family. That's your guide. Your guide should always be, this is my set from which I must choose. I shall make the best choice. And you will get somewhere good. And sometimes you need to delay your gratification or your success. Sometimes you need to suffer a season in hell so that you understand what paradise is like. So that has been my guiding mantra. But one of the things that keeps me grounded are things like the rituals of what we do as fountain pen enthusiasts. Choosing your inks, and my ink palette has expanded. You know, I've been using Diamine Autumn Oak. Just ordered a permanent ink for a video that's coming up, very nichey and different for me, that's coming up. I'm exploring with some more blues, but I'm being more intentional. It's not just that the floodgates open and I'm open to anything. I'm really curating my choices. I want them to mean something to me. And I'm doing the same with my pen purchases. I'm not just buying pens. I'm curating my collection. A whole bunch of my pens are going to be sold soon. I know you've heard me say that before, but I'm really serious about it this time. And I'm also going to send some to my mother, because my mother has asked for a few, and she is an adamant writer. She's a left-handed writer. She can use any pen left-handed. So I always hold her up as an example when people ask me about left-handed writing. So she's very, very good. But, yeah, being intentional, curating your ink collection, getting that ink, filling your pen, just the mechanics of it. It's fun to hear your ink greedily slurping up your pen, greedily slurping up the ink into its reservoir and then writing. It's just exhilarating in a way that ballpoint writers just won't understand. Openside Morpheus, £10. Thank you so much. I find journaling helps with my stress and anxiety, but so does being here, channel and chat. Thank you. Wow, that is maybe the nicest thing you could have said, so thank you. And the fact that you accompanied it with a super chat for £10 means a lot, so thank you. That's extremely kind of you, and I am just only so happy that I can do a little something to keep all of your Tuesday nights at least a bit more pleasant. Because I don't know, I think in a way our connections with each other is what we have. We're finding our characters, making connections, and making good choices. We'll take you to a good place. So thank you, Openside Morpheus. Very, very kind. Very kind indeed. So, yeah, I don't know. I think writing in your journal, writing notes, even drawing with your pens, whatever it is, it puts you in that moment. It makes you that much more present and centered in yourself. In a way, certainly passively consuming short form video in massive amounts, because I actually like it in small amounts, it just can't do. And I love YouTube, because YouTube has like fantastic videos that are long term that feed you. You can be very careful what you watch here, but there's something for everyone. All the awesome BBC documentaries with Mary Beard and Simon Chama and Tom Holland and all those are here on YouTube for free. That is so brilliant. I believe the channel is called Odyssey, and then there's another one whose name escapes me. I should probably share which YouTube channels I like. You guys would be surprised. It's not what you think. It's different, and it changes over time. But I always watch those kind of documentaries. I think you all enjoy them too. So very nice. I do want to mention John Manuel helps me quite a bit with the channel. He maintains the pen pal group list, and he's going to be making some changes to it to organize it, make it a little bit more legible for everyone. We did break it down in subgroups. I don't know if he's going to change that. I'll talk to him, but you might see some changes there, so stay tuned for that. John Manuel has very nice handwriting. I do want to mention that. I just got a letter from him recently, and I don't know why I didn't notice before, but boy, I was impressed. He has very nice handwriting. So great guy who helps me out quite a bit on the channel. And if you want to get into the Pen Pal group, it is open to Illuminati and Cognoscenti members. And I will write you a letter of welcome. I always do. Sometimes I put a stamp. I'm big on rubber stamps. I have some fun ones. Let me see if I can find one. This is really cool. It's gigantic, but it's really cool. This is one you might see. And this one, which is a little naughty, I didn't realize it when I bought it. I just thought it was like Venetian, but I realized after the fact it's a little naughty. Whoopsie, but I still kind of like it. I just see it as art. Yeah, cool. What's this? Oh, this is so cool. This is this is a wax seal. See that? It's a very old one. It's like a cameo. Forgot I own that. And I am working with Journal Say again. There's a bunch of journaling paraphernalia coming that I'm super excited about and to share with you guys. So you get to see those soon. Debbie saw John's handwriting too. He does. He has excellent handwriting. So I believe next week Aqua Marina is going to join me as co-host, if we can convince her to come on. She's very nice. I think you'll like her. And she makes watercolors and does a beautiful job of it. And this week's video are the top 5 fountain pens for productivity, which I think you'll get a charge out of. I am very proud of this video, and I think you'll like it too. So check that out on Thursday. And Thanksgiving, of course, falls on a Thursday, and you'll see a 5 fountain pens I am most thankful for coming out that day, which I do every year. It's kind of a thing with the channel. And everything else I am thankful for as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of a long journey, and I do want to thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. I love seeing each of you each Tuesday night. So thank you so much for being here. Check out the new video this Thursday, and I will be back Tuesday after the Empire State Fountain Pen Show. I'll probably post from the show too. You'll probably see, no, I won't say you'll probably see. You will see a video on the Empire State Pen Show as well. I'll film it and I'll post it probably Saturday or Sunday. You'll see that too. So you're going to get a lot of Hemingway Jones this weekend, so I hope you can handle it. So thanks so much for being here. I wish you all the best. Oh, what is this? Last minute super chat. Thank you. Eric Guzman, $4.99. I really appreciate it. What's your favorite cocktail? Pilot 823 is the GOAT for productivity. That's a great choice, my friend. You'll just have to watch the video to see if I've included it. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. What's my favorite cocktail? That's a tough one because sometimes I get in different moods. In summer, it's gin and tonics with elderflower. I really like that. I also like, I said elderflower, right? Yes. And I also like Pim's cups. I'm a huge fan of Pim's cups. In winter, I like scotch on ice. It's like 1 or 2 ice cubes with scotch poured over it. I love that. And I love Manhattans. I'm a bourbon guy too. I also like Negronis and spritzes. So I get in that mood. I like my girly cocktails too. I really love a champagne cocktail, which is a bit on the girly scale, but I'm very comfortable with that. Because Cary Grant ordered one in An Affair to Remember. So I'll have a champagne cocktail. So hey, why not? I can do it too. So those are my cocktails, but I really don't drink a lot. One of my favorite cocktails is one called a VIP. Is it a VIP or a Stoli Doli? Two different places make them. But essentially, it's pineapple juice mixed with vodka, and it's really cold. It's brilliant. Highly recommend it. But I'll have one, maybe two, and that's it. That's it. That's all I do. And even then, I fall asleep often. So thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the super chats, all the likes and the comments. Please do keep in touch with me. You know where to find me on Instagram and everywhere else. All that's in the description. And I can promise you we'll see each other again very soon, further up the road. So take care.